It's Wake Up Worlds, play-ins, day 3. PSG defeated Unicorns of Love in the first place tiebreaker to proceed to the group stage. LGD barely survived as they prepare to face Rainbow 7 in a tiebreaker set tomorrow. Do the Unicorns of Love have a shot of making it out? And who's got the best tweets of Worlds so far?
Breaking out, nice kick coming out from Boogie, still looking to see if maybe they can engage. Longshing's going to be stuck, he's going to be aggroing so much. Lamb's respite, keeping some players alive. Peanut having to run away, double kill over to GA, able to make this fight go their way. Paz tries to run, but he's a nice pair of gator skin boots. Back up, Rainbow 7 going in, looking for the engage, looking for the kills, looking for the team fight, able to find one on DeSantis. Anana Stick going in, Anana Stick going out. No way to close the distance on that one. The Unicorns of Love, baby! Unicorns might be real, but they're an endangered species!
He's gonna take a magical journey right into
no, here it is.
1, 2, the spray and pray! Rat-a-tat-tat, LGD goes flat! The flash away! Go, get your Twitch rat!
Day 3 of the World Championship is in the books, and we're here to break it all down. It's Wake Up Worlds. Welcome all to Wake Up Worlds, our ESPN Esports League of Legends World Championship program. I'm Arda, he's Tyler, and thank you so much for watching us live on Twitch, on the ESPN app, on Twitter, and also on YouTube. We will be with you every single step of the way, whether you want to consume every second of League of Legends World's content, or you need an hour or less of a digest just to catch up on everything that happened every day. We are here for you until a world champion is crowned. And Tyler, that world champion could still possibly include LGD, even though it didn't look good. They're still alive. They're still alive.
Alive is a strong word, Arda. It's a strong word. Alive would constitute them having a heart. Right now, they feel more like a zombie, just kind of, meandering about Summoner's Rift. I still think they can come alive. I still think best of fives, they will perform a lot better. I think this team is going to do much better in the best of 5 format, but it was not pretty. It was not pretty. Not a lot pretty to say. There was a lot of sloppy games, a lot of games that made me pull my head out. I was molding at times. But there was one team, though. That aced through for the most part. There was one team that was head and shoulders a bit above everyone else. So, but yeah, mostly a messy day. A lot of negatives coming out today from some of these people. A lot of weaknesses being shown, but there were a few teams, a few bright spots that we can kind of pick up on.
Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting day in terms of matchups from start to finish. However, we did get a couple of tiebreakers, and that's where we saw some fireworks. In particular, as we start here, Tyler, with PSG, they booked their ticket through all the odds. Yeah. I would endeavor to bet, Tyler, that not many people were picking PSG to get to groups, let alone in the first seed from this group. But that's exactly what they did, and they beat Unicorns of Love to do it.
No, on our ESPN.com League of Legends Predictor, we have over thousands of people participating in it, and only 1% of the entire player base selected TSG Talon to make #1 seed out of Group A. It was a wide majority were on the LGD train. You had some hipsters like me going for Unicorns of Love and their swagger, but no one really saw this team coming because, A, the PCS is one of the most underreported regions. It doesn't really have an English broadcast, so it's harder for Western fans to watch it. And B, obviously the most important point is they were playing with 3 subs. They had a coach, D, who played admirably for the 2 days he played, playing for 2/3 of the playing stage. And then you had, Uniboy and Kongwei coming over from AHQ, and we were wondering how they would, assimilate into the team. And it felt like, you have the travel and the quarantine, and you have 3 new players. It felt like it was something that was too big to overcome. They were going to be a team that might make, the best of 5 playoff stage. But group stages, it didn't feel like something that was going to happen, especially in a group with teams like Mad Lions, Team Liquid, Unicorns of Love, Supermassive, and LGD. But the team shot out like a rocket. They played like a team that's been together forever. Even if D, not the most mechanically talented player, obviously he's a coach. He's been out of form for a few years. He hasn't played Tier 1 League of Legends since 2017. But Kongwei and Uniboy just were so beautifully intertwined. And Kai Wing, maybe the player of the tournament so far. Those 3 players in particular have been so good to watch in team fight. They've been on all cylinders, fantastic to watch. They were better than LGD in their game all the way through. And then Unicorns of Love, and I love them. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But yes, the swagger, the disrespect. They showed disrespect to LGD. They showed disrespect to AHQ. They were up 6K, 7K gold. It looked like Unicorns of Love were about to book their ticket to the main event. They're about to go to one of these groups and say, we'll take on the biggest dog here, and we don't care how big you are. We will punch at you, because that's kind of the team they are. They don't care if you're the best team in the world, the worst team in the world. They're going to play their style. They're going to play balls to the wall. And then, as you do, and you're a bit disrespectful, if you go on that arrogant side of the, confident arrogance line, they got a bit too arrogant, a bit too overeager. They lost a team fight in bottom lane. It all snowballed down. Everything broke through, and AHQ, stole away a victory that they probably shouldn't have had. But it all came through the beautiful team fight, the coordination, the intelligence to not only find the pick to turn away the series, but having the timings to go from there to Baron to Dragon. And it was really fun to watch. PSG Talon have been one of the bigger stories so far at Worlds. But it's not going to be the same PSG we see in the main event. And that's something we have to explain, Arda.
Yeah, so what basically we've been reporting on ESPN Esports that the reason they had subs in the first place was because they had visa issues with 3 of their 5 starters, including D, like you mentioned, subbing in. He is a Machi Esports coach, so presumably he remains in Shanghai and will now join Machi as their and resume coaching duty. So there is a world that exists, however slim the margin, that we could see a PSG Machi matchup. They will not be in the same group, obviously, because they're from the same region. But nevertheless, now all the starters have been properly quarantined, or they're quarantining. They will be ready for groups. Their visas are all sorted. So this PSG team, Tyler, will be their original team that they were able to qualify for Worlds with in the first place.
Yeah, and I know people are going to be like, why can't they just stay with Uniboy and Kongwei? Why can't they just play those two? Like, if there was a choice, if there was an actual choice and the PSG management was able to choose between their current roster of, Kongwei, Uniboy, and this team, or bringing back the starters, it would be a hard decision. It's a decision of your family, the guys who got you to the dance, or the 2 guys who have made this, Taiwanese, this LMS super team of these amazing homegrown talent players who've been in the LMS, now the PCS, for years. And it would be a really hard decision. I know a lot of fans are like, we want to see more Uniboy and Kongwei. They were so freaking good. They were so dang good. They are the reason why this team is going to the main event in the first place. If River and Tank are here, there's a chance that they don't make it this far. They might be, 3rd or 4th seed. But because of the emergency visa issues, they were emergency subs. They're not real substitutes of PSG Talon. They are AHQ players. They are playing against PSG and Machi just a few weeks ago, trying to make it to Worlds on their own, but because of Tank and River having visa issues, they were allowed by Riot to be picked up, Kongwei and Uniboy, and they performed more than admirably. D played admirably in position. Uniboy and Kongwei conquered and dominated. They came, they smashed, and now they're going home. And it's a really sad situation. It's kind of it's a story, we talk about stories, these iconic moments, right? I think there's always going to be that little fun fact of the time that PSG Talon qualified for the main event at Worlds as the number 1 seed from their group with 2 players who were on AHQ. It's a weird, funny little fact, but I just have to give my shout out to those 2 players. Those 2 players that have come in, I'm sure they probably got paid a bit, or, they're going to get some sort of the prize money from the tournament. They could have come in, slacked off, not really tried, taken their money, pieced out and said goodbye and say, yeah, you guys aren't our real team. I'm going to go back to my real homies now. But they played amazingly, and they deserve so many kudos. And PSG Talon owe them a lot, because without those 2 players, I don't think they get first seed in this group. This PSG Talon team is special, and it's really disheartening we're not going to see them anymore. That's no offense to Tank and River. I think they come in and they bring their own strengths. But this Taiwanese, this LMS super team that people are calling them, from these, unfortunate circumstances, is a team that we're always going to be what if. What if they went to the main event together? What if they had more time to play together? Because this team has such good team fighting and such great cohesion so early on sky's the limit. Especially if unified back in the bottom lane of Kaiwing, this team could have been they would have been a real dark horse in the main event. And I still think River and Tank bring an edge to them, and I still think we can't count them out because we counted up here and they obviously showed up, but it's going to be tough sledding. And it's always going to be, what if the PSG Talon super team was able to go to the main event? But we'll never know because it's just against the rules.
What we do know is that Unicorns of Love are still in the tournament, and many people would have said they should have been in groups. They were winning that matchup against PSG in that tiebreaker, but they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, and now they move on to a best of 5 against Rainbow 7, a team that has already defeated them. So Unicorns of Love, let's talk about what we noticed from them. They were definitely one of the favorites coming in, Tyler. You have sang their praises a lot coming into Worlds. Does this shake your confidence in them at all?
They are who I thought they were. They're disrespectful, they're arrogant, they're brash, they're cocky, and I love it. I love it. I will say that when they, in their match against LGD, they should never have won that match. They played so overconfident. They got caught out in such stupid decisions. No Man's on Silas got solo killed 2 or 3 times in lane. Boss lazily recalled in top lane in front of Longji and got, popped when it was such an easily avoidable mistake. And in the early game, they played so sloppily, and it was like, okay, LG's going to win this. Unicorns of Love are playing way too sloppy, way too, comfortable. They were comfortable. It's like they're playing a solo queue game. And then LGD opened a little crack in the door. They made some of their own mistakes, and then Unicorns just smashed through. The mid-game, they just took over for the jungle skirmishes. They had those mechanical outplays, right? I put this on Twitter where they're like a street baller, right? You have, your pro players out in the gym playing, practicing around, and these street ballers come up, and maybe not in terms of experience or finesse, experience or precision. They're not perfectly suited. They're not maybe professional NBA players, but the raw mechanics are there that they surprise these NBA players. They slam dunk, and they do the 360s, and they go through the legs, and they have the styling that you don't often see sometimes in the NBA. It doesn't have the perfect, touch to it, but just the raw, free-flowing talent is what Unicorns of Love have. And if you've watched that game versus LGD, there are moments where they're doing the wrong thing, and it's something you would never want to be in that position, but they just outplay it. Like Onisic, in the top lane, when his team is getting wiped off the map, it's him versus 4 different players, I believe, 4 or 5 LGD players on Nidalee, and he just freestyles. He's going out bushes. He's getting solo kill. He's pushing back, he's weaving and dodging, and he gets 2 kills out of that when he should have gotten 0. It's those little moments of brilliance, those individual moments of brilliance with that confidence, that ever so strong confidence in these players that make Unicorns of Love so great. And then we saw that confidence versus AHQ, where they're up 6K gold, and a team that's more, coordinated or more experienced, not coordinated to say, more tenured. A team that's more tenured, a team like Gen G, a team that's more standard, a team that knows their win conditions perfectly and know what they have to do to win. They take that 6K gold lead, and they never lose it. They win 99.9% of the time. Unicorns of Love played with that ever-so confidence that they have, and they lost. So this really was the day of Unicorns of Love, where we saw the beauty of their brilliance and their cockiness and how they don't fear anyone, and that's so fun to watch. But also sometimes fear is a good thing. If you don't have any fear inside of you, you don't know when the mistakes or dangers are coming. And I think that's what the AHQ game. They had no fear in them, so they didn't see that danger sign right in front of them when it happened. So Unicorns of Love are a team I want to see in main event so badly. I want to see them so badly in the main event.
Well, they await the winner of the third and fourth seed matchup in Group A, which still has yet to be determined. Group A will be decided tomorrow in our next day of Worlds, and they will wait for that best of 5 series to conclude, and then they will meet the winner of that. Meanwhile, LGD Gaming will be moving on to face, in a best of 5 matchup, Rainbow 7, who did defeat Unicorns of Love today, which brings us to a rather easy pick, Tyler, for player of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit tough. I think you could give it to Kai Wing, Uniboy, Kongwei. Like, they played all excellent. But they did have a loss on the day. They did have an L. There was only one team on the day that was perfect, and that was Rainbow 7. They played one game, Unicorns of Love, a game they had to win, or they might have been in a tie-break, do-or-die situation alongside V3 and LGD, and they won. And this team has played around or won Jose Diedo, their star jungler, who I think is the closer of this year. And if you don't know what that means, last year at the Play-ins 2019, closer, now on Golden Guardians, formerly on Royal Youth, was the wild card player that everyone was talking about. The player that, in scrims and behind the scenes, everyone's like, this guy is good enough to play in the major regions. He's a lightning rod. He popped off in the play-ins. And I was saying Jose Hiedo could be that kind of player for Rainbow 7. And for the first few days,
Is that how you pronounce it? Was that the proper pronunciation? I actually, I've heard it pronounced 3 or 4 times.
Jose Diedo. I think it's Jose Diedo.
Okay, Jose Diedo.
Diedo. I was calling him Jose, but I want to give him... He has earned the Diedo now, Arda. He is now player of the day. So he's not just Jose to me now. He's Jose Diedo. I have to say the full name now because of the player of the day in his performance. And they've tried to play through him the first few days. Hit or miss. But today they said, we're going to put you on the Evelyn, a champion where you either make a difference when you hit level 6 and you make a difference early, or you become a paperweight and you're totally useless. As seen by when Mad Lion Shadow played her twice, and it was abomination. It was not very good to see, Arda. But we saw the good side of Evelyn when Jose Diedo and Mad Lions played around her in the bot side, did a teleport bot, did a tower dive, got an early lead, and just kept pressing forward. The solo lanes played really well, and they snowballed their the early gank into Jose Diedo, just going wild. They put their money and gold into him. He kept snowballing, getting those kills, getting those solo kills, and eventually Unicorns of Love, even though they're a team that can come back from big deficits, if you let them breathe a little. They're a team, Unicorns of Love, if you let them breathe even a tiny bit like LGD did, they can come back because they're crazy enough to think of strategies. They are talented enough individually to make these big plays and outplays happen that turn the door if you give them a little bit of an opening. Rainbow 7 gave them no opening. They smashed them in the early game, they smashed them in the mid game, and there was no late game because they were already smashed to smithereens. So Rainbow 7, their most impressive performance was today. So going into a match with LGD, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be extremely interesting. I think it comes down to Jose Diedo versus Peanut. Peanut has had a terrible, terrible world so far, outside of the last match versus V3. I don't think much of V3, but Peanut did look good on the Graves. But Jose Diedo versus Peanut, a best of 5. Whoever's the better jungler on the day, whoever can play around their jungler better will win that series. And even though even in my brain's still yelling at me, LGD, 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 don't pick against them. They're going to do it. They're going to find a way to survive. Jose Diedo, as I said, is a special player, and special players can make big moments. And there's no bigger moment than knocking out a Chinese team in play-ins in China.
Well, as you mentioned, Peanut was great in that matchup against V3, the elimination matchup, correct? He went 7-1-8 on Graves, like you mentioned. So let's dial it back now. Not just Peanut, but the entire team. They had 3 matchups today, 2 victories, both of them against V3. They move on, and when they defeated V3, the broadcasters were very quick to note, as soon as they won that game, Tyler, against V3, it wasn't happiness on their face, it was relief. It was as if they finally could exhale just a little bit, but they knew in that moment still the job was definitely not done. Did LGD give you any sort of confidence at all in their gameplay today that they could still make a run here at Worlds?
No, not really. I have more faith in the best of 5, that the best of 5 will iron out their kinks, that, the coaching staff and the familiar, the going out of the single game format to a best of 5 will strengthen them. That will make them a better team. It will give them more time to think and, regroup if they have a bad game, unlike the single game format where it's very unforgiving. If you lose once, you don't play the team again. They beat V3. V3 is, in my opinion, the weakest team at Worlds this year, alongside maybe INTZ of Brazil. V3 is a team that's very timid. They do not. They have their own star jungler in Boogie. They try to put Boogie on champions like Elise and Lee Sin and try to get him going. Didn't work out. Poor performances. I'm whelmed at best. I'm lukewarm at best currently on LGD. The only reason why I still believe in them is because they are the Chinese force, just because they're LGD. If this team didn't have the prestige and the experience and the names behind them that I could trust, like Peanut and GA and Kramer, I would say they have no chance versus Rainbow Seven, because what they've shown me in play-ins is a very sloppy, disconnected team that only survived because they played a team more.
So as we look forward to tomorrow's matchups, we will just tell you that, of course, we are going to shore up Group A as we had shored up Group B today, and LGD continue on in Worlds, even though confidence in this team, like you mentioned, Tyler, is at an all-time low. Definitely.
No, it's not the lowest. Yesterday was probably the lowest, probably before. I have the NA optimism meter, right, where I go 1 to 10 of how I feel about NA.
Yeah, which we'll do later, yeah.
I'm at like a 2 on LGD. I feel like I'm at a 2 out of 10. Like, even if they make it through Rainbow Seven, even if they somehow make it to the main event, like, I need to see a lot more from this team, because I've been really let down from their play in the first. They've only survived because of an arbitrary cutoff. There's a world where Riot's like only the top 3 teams from group stages make it to the next round. They would have been screwed. The only reason why they're making it to the next round is because they beat Japanese team twice. A not really remarkable Japanese team who played very timid and just played very conservative. Against a team, more aggressive teams, LGDs in this form are going to have a lot of trouble, especially when Peanut's not his top peak form.
I love that 2 out of 10 is not the least confident you've been in a team.
I could go lower.
It's more confident, yeah.
I could go way lower.
My goodness. I am also not confident in my League of Legends predictor picks. By the way, everyone can join us if you want to play along, and if you want to laugh at my misery in real time. You can go to espn.com/League of Legends predictor. It is completely free. You can invite your friends. You can play Tyler and I, and you can make your picks all the way to the final. Every single stage will have a different set of questions. Completely free to play. You just make your picks, and then you battle against everybody else. Currently, as I take a look at my standings here, I was 600th at one point, Tyler, and that seems great now because I somehow fell by more than double that, and I'm at 1,257th place.
Oh man, you're just like LGD. You're almost at the bottom of the table. You're hanging on by a thread. You're not the worst. You're not the very bottom, but you're getting very dang close. I'm in the Unicorns of Love position. I'm in 300th place. I'm near the top. I'm near the pantheon of the big brains. But I've had a few picks that have not gone my way. I played too conservative, Arda. Just like V3, I played too conservative in my prediction. I should have been a bit more spicy. Hopefully Team Liquid can book their ticket as the #1 seed and bump me up those rankings.
Well, like I said, espn.com/League of Legends predictor. You can join along. You can invite your friends. It's completely free. Let's get to some fun tweets. People have definitely been memeing, and it's been a lot of fun to see, especially as it pertains to the stage. I've seen a lot of fun ones there, but just let's roll some tweets that have been very great on Twitter so far. This one is from LOL Esports. There's been some fun. We'll react in real time as we watch along here as fast as we can. There might be a little bit of a delay, and we apologize for that. But yeah, there's that should be me hanging the Turkish flag on the Mad Lion there, Tyler.
It really should. I feel like you've earned the status of of all the esports personalities. I think you're in the top. I would say strong top 5 Turkish esports personalities. You're making your way up there for League of Legends. You're a super massive fan.
Yep. All right. I like that. I'll take those. I take that. I appreciate that. This one is from the LEC. Some of these are really great.
The LEC
There's been some creativity, yeah. LEC Twitter is undefeated this year, right?
I'm an LCS guy. Like, if it's a North America versus a European game, I'm a journalist, but I'm gonna be a little bit biased for the NA teams. But I have to say the LEC Twitter blows out the LC Twitter. No offense to our LCS, social media team, but the LEC social media is goated. It's an excellent team.
这个世上要多一个善良。
This one from the LPL, and I gotta say that the LPL has
我们3，你们0。
I like the personalities of the LPL. They're creating their own content.
对，极光都没有来，
恭喜 TSM。
我也不知道你们期待什么。
Bringing their own content here.
G2
We're gonna throw this one on a loop a little bit here.
理亏了，我们 DG2 是不可能被战胜的。
Yeah, I don't think LGD is like this, but
They're trying. LPL like this is trying.
感谢 LCK 选手的辛苦付出，彻底治好了我的失眠。
2,000 years later.
历时9时4分35秒，水晶终于击破了。
As we go to our next team here from Talon, speaking of Emily, Emily and I have an article going up on ESPN.com soon. Sort of a bubble confidential, not necessarily confidential because everyone's still on the record about it, but if you've been curious about what bubble life has been like and what the players and staff have gone through once they arrived in Shanghai, we will tell you exactly what's been going on. It should be either Monday or Tuesday on ESPN.com/esports. There's a whole bunch of content there. And here's from PSG Talon, who I think they have been the best team.
Out of nowhere. Are we sure, it's not like Tinker River, that's their, side job and like, their job is, making memes while they're quarantining. It's like, okay, guys, we'll let you back on the team in the main event if you can make some spicy memes. But, out of nowhere, really out of nowhere, it's like you would not expect the PSG Talon team of all teams to just come out with the most fire memes of Worlds so far, but they've been absolutely brilliant.
Here's one from Zix, who's been great. Speaking of the stage, I love this. I have been begging any team to troll the production team or do it for the memes. Just fall off into the abyss. Do a faker on the world's main stage and somersault into the abyss. It would be hilarious.
It'd be hilarious, and Riot would probably fine them $20,000.
You think so?
It's Riot. They would.
$20,000 fine to somersault into the.
If it was Faker could do that for free. They'd probably pay Faker to do a somersault on the, into the abyss. But if you're a playing team, if you're PSG Talon or V3 Esports trying to be, try to upstand Riot Games, you're gonna get $20,000 fine. Those players can't. Faker though. Faker could probably walk into the building right now and play. They'd be okay. They probably would have been. They're probably like, "Oh, Faker, you want to play on PSG Talon? That's fine."
I like this. It's bound to happen. Someone is gonna. We should place bets on who will be the first team to either
G2.
Accidentally or on
G2.
purpose. You think
G2.
G2 will just Yankos is just gonna start swimming towards the.
the G2 will do something. Carlos will probably be like, "Oh, I don't care if I get fined." Carlos would be like, "This is great social media." If there's any team that's gonna screw with the 4D stage and make a joke of it and have fun with it, it's gonna be G2.
This is our last one. This is from Talon. And this is probably the absolute best victory meme that you could think of.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear that music, and you see those men suiting up, you know it's good. But then you throw in the slapping me. It's two memes fused together, and they work so beautifully. It's like peanut butter and jelly, Arda. It's the peanut butter and jelly of memes right there. The PSG Talon media person is excellent. Right now, I would say Kai Wing, Armut, Jensen, Impact, those are the MVPs. The PSG Talon social media person is right up there. They're right up there with the players right now because they are just hit after hit. They are delivering. They've done more for this tournament than V3 Esports did on the entirety of their run. This is how you grow the brand. This is it. PSG Talon, 100% better off than when they entered Worlds. There's no doubt. And this is like a huge contributor to that. So
yeah.
kudos to them. And you know what? Shout out to the non-players that had to travel to Worlds. I know you mentioned G2. Carlos didn't travel. He actually gave up his spot to one of the managers. I think it was Taco. And well, somebody from G2 is there in place of Carlos with the team. But shout out to the non-players that have to go through the exact same rigorous process to attend Worlds, but not compete at Worlds in a way. So shout out to them, including social media teams.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I wish I was in the bubble art. I would have bubble. I would rock the bubble. I'd be the bubble MVP, but sadly, alas, I'm just too spicy for the little Arda. They just couldn't contain me.
They wouldn't be able to handle Theon in the Shanghai bubble. No way.
I would have definitely been the person who's like, I'm gonna try to deliver some Postmates here, or some, the Chinese equivalent of Postmates, and I would have probably walked out of quarantine. I probably would have screwed up the entire bubble. I would have like wasted $10 billion what Riot invested into this bubble system, and I would be a pariah of LOL esports. I'd have to go write about different esports than League of Legends. They would blacklist me. But
I'd have to make a video on our YouTube channel about you and how you broke the bubble. And in other news, Tyler Erzberger ruined Worlds today.
Ruined Worlds. He has wasted $10 million from Riot. He owes Riot $10 million. That'd be great. But no, social media so far at Worlds has been awesome. It's been different for me because obviously usually I'm on the ground. I'm like going to interviews. I'm like doing all the stuff, and I'm like talking to team players, embedding of teams, but I've been able to focus on my craft of tweeting. I've been able to, convey and just observe the entire landscape of social media at Worlds. It's been fun so far. I think when group stage starts, I think right now we're at the kitty gloves. Like we're still like having a little bit of fun. We're still in play-ins, but when groups hits, it's going to be all out war. There's going to be so many teams talking trash. It's going to be electric.
Yeah, this segment during groups is going to take 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It took like 4 minutes here, but it's going to be like a half hour the next time we do it during the group stage. Another segment that I love and I look forward to probably the most every single show, and we're going to continue to do it until you say you don't want to do it anymore, which I hope you don't say at all, is your level of NA optimism. So to catch everybody up, if you are tuning in for the first time, every single program here, and we're with you until the very end, until a champion is crowned, Tyler gives us, on a scale of 1 to 10, his level of optimism for North American teams at Worlds. So, I wonder, with no NA teams, with Team Liquid off today, where is your level of optimism today?
So, I was day 1 at a 10. Day 2, I was at a 10 again, a little bit above a 10. Let's say a 10.5. Today, Team Liquid didn't play. No NA teams played. I'm about 11, Arda. I'm at 11. I'm at 11. 1-1. I'm above a 10.5. I watch these teams play, and I'm like, these guys aren't that good. These teams, Team Liquid has been the most impressive team so far in playing alongside PSG Talon, and that PSG Talon can't play anymore. So that's one team down. Those guys can't play anymore. The players I'm most scared of, Uniboy and Conquest, they're gone. See you later. That's 2 players I'm scared of.
Look at the graph. You're off the graph right now. Your face is off the graph.
I'm going above and beyond. Why shouldn't I be excited? Team Liquid 2-0, FlyQuest undefeated, TSM undefeated. Like, we are in a straight line towards the group stage of Team Liquid. Tomorrow they play Supermassive, a very good team. The biggest test that Team Liquid will have in the playing stage. Sorry, Mad Lions, but Supermassive look like a very good team. But I'm at 11. With how well they handled Legacy Esports, they spanked Legacy Esports, controlled them from start to finish. I think they can handle Supermassive. I think they're going to go 4-0 tomorrow, go to group stages, and join our undefeated brothers, FlyQuest and TSM. Right now, it's September 27th, Arda, and that's one thing to say. North America is still undefeated, and there's no lies there. So I'm at 11 tomorrow. We'll see. If Team Liquid loses a game or two, it's going to go way down. I might cry a bit. But for right now, I'm at 11. I could not be more confident seeing LGD and how woeful they look. Bring them to TSM's group. I want them with TSM now. GA and Bjergsen. I already knew Bjergsen was better than GA. Now I'm uber confident that Bjergsen would slap around GA. Let's bring it on. PSG Talon, let's throw them in FlyQuest's group. without Unibull and Conquay, not very scary. I'm not scared of River and Tank. I'm at the most peak optimism NA. I'm at an 11. NA right now is in a golden spot.
This is our daily reminder that Tyler championed, and I definitely played support here in this bot lane, to put Bjergsen in the top 20 of our top 20 players of ESPN Esports. We were defeated in that debate, but you definitely pushed hard. I was there supporting you every step of the way. We couldn't get it done. But I will say, at least right now, we would have a stronger case. I guess we'll leave it at that.
We still have to watch Bjergsen play. He's doing.
We don't have to watch Bjergsen play. We've seen enough. We've seen enough.
He's doing very well in the Super Server. If you check out the Super Server stats, he's like top 5 of all Western players right now on the Chinese server. He is a smurfing right now. So I feel very confident. I came into Worlds just hoping for some fun. I came to Worlds not expecting NA to send one team to quarterfinals. I was okay if we just had a good try, had a bit of fun. But after seeing Team Liquid play, after hearing some stuff in the bubble, I feel very, very good about North America. I'm not saying North America will win Worlds, not going to make semifinals, but I think we can have a good showing. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 teams that are above the rest, but as LGG has shown, the gap between everyone else but those top 3 or 4 teams is very close. And when it comes to the group stages, which is, double round robin, anything can happen. So while I don't think it's golden road to the finals, I'm not going to be that stupid. I'm not going to be that optimistic yet. Come back to me in a few weeks if FlyQuest beats TES in a game. If they beat TES in the opening match, I will go to 100. I will break the scale off. It will be the most annoying thing you've ever seen if FlyQuest somehow beats TES. But right now, I'm very excited about NA as a whole. I'm at 11 out of 10. Tomorrow, maybe a 12.
If you go to 100, our graphics team is going to be very mad at you for having to make that graph and shrink everything.
If FlyQuest beats Top Esports on opening day,
we might lose you. You might be celebrating. You might plan a parade. You might be a singular parade on the streets of Los Angeles.
I would be setting off fireworks.
A socially distant parade, yeah.
I'd be setting fireworks off in my apartment, and I'd probably have the fire department in my house because.
Oh my gosh.
Now you have me imagining what would the scenes would be like if FlyQuest could somehow beat TES. It's not going to happen, but
you got a Phoenix tattoo. You might get a FlyQuest tattoo if that happens.
If FlyQuest beats TES, I'll tattoo my entire face for that part. Like, come on now. But no. Overall,
okay, we got some. Yeah,
don't get too far ahead of us. Don't get too far ahead of us. Supermassive tomorrow. Team Liquid. Let's take care of business. Put on that Sue and Ty like you did versus Legacy. Let's go in there. Coach Jat, believe in Coach Jat. He's got us covered. I think we're going to have Team Liquid 4-0.
So on that note, Group A will be decided tomorrow. That brings us to tomorrow's headlines. This is where we like to predict what tomorrow's headlines will be, what the biggest news story will be, and what the headline would read in a League of Legends newspaper. Tyler, what is tomorrow's headline?
Simple, Liquid Rising. Don't have to talk about it much. Team Liquid 4-0. They're going to come in, shoot and tie, take care of business. Don't play cocky. Don't play overconfident. Stick to what you know. Don't show too much for the main event, and just take care of business. That's all it's about. You saw yesterday, Arda, we are ESPN, and you saw the Lakers beat the Denver Nuggets for the Western Conference title. When everyone was celebrating around the trophy, the Western Conference trophy, LeBron was on the side, sitting down, not looking at the trophy, not celebrating at all. That's Team Liquid. They're in planes. They're not celebrating beating these low-level teams. They got to take care of business, get 4-0, and move on to the real business. That's Team Liquid. They got to be like LeBron. Don't look at the now, look at the future, and just take care of business. Because I know they're good enough to get out 4-0. They have the players and experience to do so. Tactical looks very, very good. He's getting a lot of praise from people I'm talking to in the bubble. I think Team Liquid is going to go 4-0, get out of it, and Liquid will rise to the main event.
Well, Jat certainly is acting like LeBron James. If we saw the latest social media video that they posted on Team Liquid's official account, he is not looking over anything. No. He is definitely focused on the task at hand, and he is definitely repeating to everybody, hey, don't celebrate. Yeah. Our task is far from over, but we're happy with our results so far, which is good.
Perfect.
Here's my conundrum, Tyler. As you know, I support you 100%. I am with you on the NA hype train. I want NA to go far.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah,
from Canada.
exactly. You and I are brothers in arms in North America. Here's the conundrum. Here is the internal struggle that I have tomorrow. I also have roots in Turkey. My parents are Turkish immigrants. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud to be Canadian. I'm proud to be Turkish. Here lies my issue, my challenge, my conundrum. I am torn. It's as if my heart is being pulled in two different directions right now, Tyler. It's very difficult for me when I wake up, and I'm in Eastern time, so I'll be watching this at 4 a.m. tomorrow, when I see Team Liquid on one side and Supermassive on the other side. It will be tears of joy and tears of sadness. I just don't know what to do. So my headline, in my completely unrealistic, could never ever possibly logically happen, but I would love for it to just happen, but it won't. Obviously, it cannot. It's impossible. Team Liquid and Supermassive tie. And just imagine this scene. Can I paint a picture for you?
Yeah, paint it for me, Arda. Paint it.
Let's just imagine, buddy, my good pal. They sit down, they play. Okay. Great matchup in the top lane. Armut with his Wukong. Great battle here. Impact doing well in the top lane as well. We got a great jungle battle going on with Cacao and Broxa on the Lee Sin. Somehow got the Lee Sin pick, but doing well with it in this meta, okay? We got a great matchup all over the place. It is a knockdown, drag-out affair, one of the most exciting battles at Worlds. We get to 45 minutes, still back and forth. Baron buffs expired, Ocean Soul, etc. These two teams are really going at it. But then, they just stop. They stand up in unison. They both walk towards the AR stage, and they fist bump each other, and they just leave the game, and the game just expires, and it is ruled a draw, and there's no penalties, there's no issues, Riot doesn't investigate, everyone is happy, they just say, good games, GG's, Arda, this is for you. And that's how the game ends.
You know what that reminds me of, Arda?
What?
That reminds me of high school, young love, teenager. I had a crush on these two different girls in history class. Okay. It was a long time ago, back in history class. You know how that ended, Arda?
How?
They both rejected.
No!
And just like that, Turkey and NA, sometime down the road, are both gonna turn you down as well, my friend. So just hold on to it. Just hold on to it as long as it lasts, because right now this is the best times we're gonna have. Tomorrow, just think of the good times when the two best teams in the tournament currently are Turkey and NA, the two undefeated regions. The only undefeated regions currently in the bubble, alongside the LCK. Who don't have anyone in the play-ins are Turkey and NA. So just cherish that moment, Arda. Just cherish it. It's not going to last long, but for one day, all the world is going to be looking at North America as Turkey as the marquee match. And that's pretty cool.
And honestly, in all seriousness, I never thought that this would be the marquee matchup, right? Like, we thought it might be a competitive matchup. Yeah. I honestly thought that these two teams would be facing off in a best of 5, coming in second and third in the group. Yeah. But they're battling for first. They're undefeated. They're battling for first. So, you're right. That is to be celebrated. So, the matchup of Arda, I'll call it, at least for just this one matchup. We got Turkey and NA. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's the schedule. Tomorrow, we're going to settle Group A. And, of course, like I mentioned, Tyler and I will be with you every step of the way until a world champion is crowned right here, whether you're watching us on Twitch, the ESPN app, on Twitter, or on YouTube. Thank you very much. We're going to be here with you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Tyler, any final words?
I'm just thinking about my high school days now, and I have a bit of tear in my eye.
Of course you are.
Hopefully Team Liquid can turn my friend upside down tomorrow. Let's go, Liquid. Try your best. Turkey versus NA. Doesn't matter what the result is tomorrow. We're gonna have some reactions tomorrow. We are gonna have some hot takes tomorrow. Whatever way it goes, one of us is gonna be sad. There's gonna be some tears in one of our eyes tomorrow. So it's gonna be a good show. Hopefully it's not mine. Hopefully Team Liquid does not bring me to sadness again.
Yeah, there definitely will be some tears. And you can watch it live happen on Wake Up Worlds tomorrow. Thanks for joining us here. Good vibes and acts of kindness, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. High school. High school. Terrific.